Now, I understand that this can be a very boring, even depressing topic to some people. I can just feel the energy in the audience right now. But I would like to pair it with something that a niche category people may find interesting. Comic books. Okay, only half of you want to off yourselves. So, now, why I want to talk about this is because of the recession that the United States experienced in 2007 with the housing crisis and the surprising lack of understanding that the majority of the public have on the subject in general. Now, to explain this the best way I can, in the simplest way I can, I'd like to take you back 40 years to a much simpler economic crash, the crash of the comic book industry. Now, picture yourself in the shoes of a young, ambitious store owner in the late 1970s. You've opened a small, relatively successful location in Brooklyn, and you're doing well for yourself. You have around 50 customers a week. They're regulars. You know them. Everyone greets you by name. It's like a family business. It's like you're the little guy on the corner that everyone knows. It's like all the kids come to see you, all the adults who've been with these series since they were 4, 5, 6. They love you for having the store on their block. Now, what's made this good for you is you're getting money. It's like, what more could you want? But you're not doing well. You're just getting by. Like, you love what you do, but it's not enough. Now, what happened in the late 1970s, early 1980s, is that there's a huge influx of collectors and speculators into the comic book market. Now, these people were in it either to just find and buy old comics, old rare comics, or find, buy, and then sell old comics for a profit. And this was great for both parties because retailers such as yourself would make more money, and then they could go around look for rich investors and collectors to buy their collections off them, and they'd make money. It was a win-win. Now, in your case, being in a nice Brooklyn location, this caused a huge influx of customers in the early 80s. You went from seeing 50 a week to seeing almost 50 a day. You went from buying 20 to 30 different series from publishers such as DC and Marvel to buying 50 to 70. This was a great time for you of huge expansion. Now, after this growth, you had to do something with it, right? You can't, of course you could save your money, but who does that? Now, you don't open a smaller location, I'm sorry. You move into a larger location, giving the smaller location to your little brother, who, now it's seriously a family business. You're running this from the new location where you're getting most of your shipments, and your little brother is just learning the ropes and he's coming into his own. It's great. Now, you have more customers than ever. Moving into this larger location, that means you can have more comics at once, and you can have more people in the store at once. Now, years go by, and these numbers only increase. The publishers are pandering to these collectors. You're not only ordering comics anymore, you're ordering things like action figures, trading cards, full volumes with like a year worth of comics in them. You're making great money, and now you're ordering even more series because they're putting out more series. You're ordering over 100 as comics are coming in by the truckload to the point where you have to help the mailman with his dolly to get the boxes into the store. You're doing great. Early 1990s, you're at your peak. You've opened a third location in Manhattan now. That location's doing the best of any of your locations, and you love it. You love what you do. You're making great money. You don't even have time to get to know your customers anymore because you just have to get them, ring them up, and get them out. It's not the same business, but you're doing great and you're happy. And you're ordering more than ever. Now you're ordering around 150 different series. Obviously less of each, but still. It's quite insane the amount of comics and the amount of money that's going through and going in and going out of your store. Now, what happens in 1993 is, when I said you hit your peak, right here is the moment that you hit your highest peak. This is the extent that your business will ever go. You have done the best for yourself that you physically can. You've bought an apartment, you got a $5,000 engagement ring for your fiance. Everything's going amazing for you. But then, everything falls apart. In 1993, all the collectors, all the speculators, all the customers that had built up your business for you, all dropped out. The comics, this 150 series that I was talking about, they're worthless. People thought they were worth money just because publishers would slap on collectors on the cover. It's like values went from $100 to less than 100 cents. It was ridiculous. You get rid of your Manhattan location. You try and bail yourself out. You try making more money, and you're stuck ordering more comics. Otherwise, the distributors won't give you any more. They have quotas, and you're doing worse and worse. By 1995, you're back to your original location. But now, it's just old issues that no one wants to buy, stocked floor to ceiling. And you and your brother and your fiance are just standing there wondering what happened. And to put simply, an economic crash happened because of the greed of the publishers sending out, frankly, crap, worthless comics that they pawned off as collectibles, the distributors getting quotas that forced retailers to buy so many series, the customers who were only in it for to get a quick buck, and as soon as they couldn't, dropped out, and you, who decided that all you wanted was some more money to keep expanding and couldn't sit well with what you had. And that's the effect that economic crashes have on people. They can take businesses, lives that were built up for decades, and destroy them. This comic book crash affected hundreds of thousands of people, but that was nothing compared to what we saw in 2007. In 2007, millions upon millions of people lost their jobs, lost their homes, lost their livelihoods, and we're still reeling from that. The Dow Jones is just now getting above 20,000, which, for those of you that don't know what that means, is one of the largest stocks is Dow Jones Industrial. It's one of the largest stocks that can be bought. The worth of that stock can be a good indicator for the market as a whole. And it's at the highest it's been, but it's nowhere near what we saw before the 2007 crash. We saw peaks just like your store saw, and it all came crashing down in the span of a year. It's quite frankly insane that we don't see the patterns before they happen, since it's happened so many times before. Look at the Great Depression. Look at the comic book crash. Look at back in the 1500s, the tulip craze with the Dutch, where people would trade entire houses for a simple tulip bulb. It's a shame, and the fact that the public isn't aware of how this happens is a sign that it'll happen again, and I came here to educate you so you aren't part of the problem. Now, thank you, and have a good afternoon.